All righty, Laurie Shore is coming up next with, what she has is, what you have to understand is she has got Jacqueline Kennedy jewelry, which is just simply spectacular. Laurie looks magnificent. And I want to wish you a happy new year, lady, if I don't see you.
Same here, Dave. Thank you so much.
All right, take care.
I'll take that baton from you now. And yeah, we're going to kick right into 2 hours, really 2 incredible hours with our Jacqueline Kennedy jewelry collection. I'm Laurie Shore, but that's probably the least important name of the hour. We've got so many great stories to hear. If you love jewelry, this is your show, 2 hours. If you love American history, this is your show, 2 hours. And every single, let me say it this way, virtually every single item in this show at the end of this 2 hours at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, we will never again have it on QVC. They're all being retired. So if you happen to be up for whatever reason right now and watching, we're so glad you're here to get a last chance to see this gorgeous jewelry and hear the stories that go along with them. Coming up in the show, quick taste of what's to come. For the first time ever presented on 5 monthly payments, it's down to $13.20. You get the swirling circle bracelet. Now, every item in this show, genuine reproductions. This is the one item in this show. If we have any left after this show, we'll be able to see it 2 more times today, and then it's gone for good. Everything else, though, this show is the last show to see it in. The most affordable item in the show is this next one. It's under $30. First time ever at that low price. You're saving more than $20. We also have it on Easy Pay, down to $7.25 a month. That was a gift from John Jr. We're going to hear the story on that one as we come along. Couple items in this show were actually gifts from John. The necklace that I'm wearing, that is simply, it's a crime that we won't see this again. It's so beautiful. First time ever at the low price of $56.30. You're saving more than $25. One of the biggest savings opportunities in the 2 hours is that one, and it's on Easy Pay. That was a gift to Jacqueline from her mother-in-law. And we are going to jump into a lot of great things, but before we do, I want to introduce you to historian Phillip Katz. It is such a pleasure, my friend.
It is. It really is. We have some magnificent pieces of jewelry today.
And every item in this show is either in the Kennedy Library, in the National Archives, or in private hands. What an opportunity to see these pieces, right?
It really is. And we have these photographs that come from the John F. Kennedy Library that we have by courtesy. So that you understand, the presidential libraries are a division of the U.S. government, and therefore they do not endorse any of the products, including these reproductions or anything within the public domain. And Camrose and Cross is an independent corporate entity. And all of these products that you're going to see are absolutely magnificent. Yeah. They were all worn by Jacqueline Kennedy. We're going to try to show you as many photographs as we possibly can and give you the stories behind them.
Now, this item that we have right off the bat, 2 bracelet sizes, same bracelet, 2 sizes, size 8 and size 7. The size 8, the larger one, sold out the last time it was presented way back in June. Back in stock for you today now on 4 monthly payments of $22.50. Jacqueline Kennedy, it turns out, worked for the CIA. Tell us about it, Phillip.
She actually worked for the CIA in the early 1950s before she met JFK. We're not sure what she did. It was called the United States Information Agency at the time, but they called her back in 1968 to ask her to go to Cambodia secretly, go under the auspices of doing something else, and trying to, #1, get out 6 airmen that had been shot down in Cambodia, which we were not officially at war with.
And while you're talking, I'd love to see the picture of Jacqueline wearing this as you're telling the story. Continue. Sorry, Phillip.
And also ask them to see if they can get ask the Cambodians to stop having the Vietnamese use Cambodia for what was called the Ho Chi Minh Trail. So she went to Cambodia to see the ruins of Angkor Wat, and she was given this beautiful bracelet. And this bracelet, this is one photograph of her wearing it, was given to her by the king of Cambodia, King Sihanouk, or who was called Prince Sihanouk at the time. And this was Jacqueline Kennedy. Is this how an enemy treats somebody? Because he was the enemy. But he brought her there, and he treated her so beautifully, red carpet, the whole works, and gave her this magnificent set of jewelry. It was, originally there was some earrings involved. It was part of a suite, and it was made originally with Cambodian jade. We cannot use Cambodian jade to this day. We still cannot import Cambodian jade. They're still on the list of places not to go and things not to do. So it has been done with Thai jade, so we can get that exact same color to it.
It's gorgeous.
The original size was a 7-inch. It was a beautiful piece, and we have available to you in a larger size.
That's right. We have the 7-inch available, and we also have the 8-inch. The 8-inch is, again, the most limited. Like we said, it was presented last time back in June. That 8-inch choice, the larger one, sold out at that time. We're going to talk about stories, but I don't want us to forget about the quality of this jewelry. These are not inspired by, these are true reproductions of the real ones. In fact, they're designed to feel like the real ones as well.
They are.
Right?
They're absolutely made to feel and look exactly the same. They're beautifully boxed, and we'll talk about everything, because all of the boxing that's coming up, they're all coming in steel boxes. We'll show you how beautifully presented they are.
And as we cover this box, I got to remind people, Philip, I'm sorry I'm jumping in here. This is the last show we will ever see this jewelry, and this is beautiful jewelry. These are pieces that have been so popular in the past, but we need to retire jewelry from time to time, and this is the show we have to say goodbye to this.
Yes, it's not the line that's being retired.
Right.
We'll continue having Jacqueline Kennedy for hopefully for many years to come. But these are pieces that need to be retired for different reasons. And each one comes with a certificate of authenticity. Each one comes in a steel box, and they're beautifully packaged. So when you give them as a gift or you keep them, you'll always have perfect pieces.
Once again, the size 8 is gone. We do have that original size that Jacqueline herself wore, and that's the size 7, and that is still available. Still to come, take a look at that gorgeous lariat necklace that you see right there, and there are a couple ways that you can wear it. Clearance priced and on Easy Pay, 2 monthly payments. Every one of these pieces, again, true reproduction, and we'll have the stories thanks to historian Phillip Katz that go along with it. Also, triple strand hoop earrings in 2 different colors, and whenever we offer you a choice of color in this jewelry collection, there's a historical reason for that. That's the case with those earrings. It's the one pair of earrings in the show, and it's the pair that I'm wearing as we speak. Now, speaking of necklaces, please stay tuned to the one that I'm wearing right now, another item that's being retired at the end of this 2-hour show. First time ever at a low clearance price. Also one of the biggest savings in the entire show. It's that necklace. That's in a gold tone. This, though, is in a silver tone, and if we're missing any at the end of the 2 hours, Corinne, our model, will have heisted this one. She's in love. First time ever at the clearance price of $73.88. Also, we have this on Easy Pay. That means with your credit card, you get to pay 3 monthly payments of just $24.96. This was from another first lady of another country, right?
This was from Arisa, was her nickname, Mrs. Lopez Mateos, who was the wife of the president of Mexico. When Jackie and JFK went to Mexico, this was a gift from them. And it was a gift thanking JFK for the trouble and effort he went through literally to move a river. The Rio Grande River had moved south, and many thousands upon thousands of acres of Mexico was now in the United States. And JFK had the Army engineers move it north again, saving an international problem. And this was a magnificent piece. It was one of the first silver pieces that was given to Jackie. And she didn't wear it initially because it was 1962, and she didn't start wearing till the end of the 60s and the early 70s when the silver look came in.
That's right.
And she took it out and she started to wear it. The original piece, the actual diamonds were such a poor quality. Jackie had them removed and put in a little bit better quality. Not the top quality, but the better quality. They were industrial because Mexico didn't have money at the time.
At that time.
But it was a beautiful design. It was a magnificent design by Mexican craftsmen.
We're going to see Corinne in this because Corinne wants to be seen in this in the best possible way. Isn't that gorgeous? The length on this is just under 17 inches, but there's a 3-inch extender. Corinne has it on the shortest length there, so that's how you wear it right at the base of your neck. You can, of course, extend that if you choose to. Mesh, movable, liquid, and the necklace itself culminating in that focal point right there in the center. Quick update on this one for you. We started with 100 of these. Fewer than 2 dozen of these available. That's it.
It is a magnificent piece. It did have a matching bracelet and earrings. It was a piece that I'm just so sorry that it's been so popular, so sorry that it's being retired and it is going out. It is very, very comfortable because it was an open mesh, and Jackie loved open mesh because it allowed her skin to breathe. And because her skin breathes, she didn't get rashes. She had a bracelet that we're going to be showing you a little later, also with open mesh. It was very important to her, and it was really a beautiful, beautiful piece.
I can't believe this is the last time we're ever going to see this on QVC.
Everything that's on here, and it's sold out.
It's gone. Every item in this show, this is the last opportunity to get it here on QVC. Now, this pin that you see right here, we're not going to have time for a full presentation. In fact, there's just not enough of them to go around. But we do have a few in stock right now. $50 is the price. Just about 3 dozen available, and it's on 4 monthly payments of just $12.50. Do you want to say a sentence on that one, or do we don't?
This was a gift from the government of Chile. It's a leaping frog, and it's totally encrusted. We're going to tell you how many pieces there are, how many diamonds were in this
if we get
thing.
a chance.
And with an emerald eye in it, and of course the emerald eye was for JFK, for his Emerald Island.
Wow.
And which he loved so much.
Speaking of JFK, a lot of these pieces, in fact, more than any other category, pieces come from JFK himself for his lovely wife. This next bracelet we're showing you for the first time ever, again, it's on Easy Pay. 3 monthly payments of under $25 a month. This is that mesh bracelet that we mentioned to you, that Phillip did, that's mesh just like the last necklace that we showed you. In this case, gold tone with an extender. As small as 7 inches or as big as 8 inches, it will adjust. And look at the front of this as well. This was part of a set, right?
It was a gift from JFK as 2 pieces that were given to him, one in clear diamonds, white diamonds, and the other in Ceylon sapphires. But this Ceylon sapphire was so deep in purple that it's actually the hue that's in there is Tanzanite, and we're calling it Tanzanite because it was. But this, of course, was before Tanzanite came into the United States officially, and this was made by Tiffany's in New York. And it was a piece, I would love to show you photographs of her wearing it. Yeah. This is one place that she's wearing it over here on her arm, and we give you an extender with it. And the reason for the extender, and we've talked about it, is that women used to wear gloves, and they never hid their jewelry under the gloves. And here's a photo of her wearing this with the extender that we give to you over her gloves so that the piece wouldn't be hidden. It was part of the dual set, was given to her in July 1960 by JFK. It was to thank her, and combination of also her birthday was in July, and to say thank you for the effort she made in helping him win the Democratic National Convention
yes.
for becoming president of the United States.
I knew something political.
It's early in the morning, I'm going to have trouble talking. But it really was, and it was just a magnificent piece. It is that mesh that she loved so much. She loved it so much that she actually had another piece made to match it later.
We want to give you a quick update on this one. We started with 6 dozen of these bracelets. That's it. Fewer than 2 dozen remain. And again, this is another example, like everything else in the show. When we say goodbye at 7, it's gone for good.
It's beautifully boxed, comes in the steel box, comes with a certificate of authenticity. The fact that we're retiring it doesn't slow down anything else on it, doesn't slow down its guarantees or anything else that goes along with it.
That gorgeous?
This is the extender, if you see it on the side.
Yes.
That's the actual extender that
and
comes
I took it off mine, so I went down to 7 inches on mine, but I could easily go back up to the 8. Yeah. Oh, it has just sold out. We're going to move on to other items. We have beautiful bracelets in this show. Hey, we want to give you an update on that first item in the show that we brought you. We started with 100 of those bangle bracelets. Fewer than 2 dozen available in size 7. That's all we have left in that one. And again, it is available on Easy Pay if you choose.
This is Dan Hughes. Join me for more great shopping next on QVC.
Two different ways of showing this. Welcome back to Jacqueline Kennedy Jewelry. We are having such a wonderful time, and I hope you are too. The neat thing about this pin is Corinne and I got to pick our own ways to wear it, and you can too. She's wearing it at the décolleté. I'm wearing it on my belt. We're going to join historian Phillip Katz here and hear the story about this. But like all the items in the show, when we say goodbye at 7 a.m., this item will be gone for good. It's $70, 4 monthly payments of $17.50. It's tied to the Taj Mahal. I'm going to head back to Phillip. We're going to hear the story on this. Tied to her experience visiting the Taj Mahal, right, Phillip?
It was. Jackie went to the Taj Mahal in India in 1962 with her sister, and it was an unofficial trip, but semi-official in one format. And the Maharaja of Punjab, which is the state that the Taj Mahal is in, wanted to give her a gift. She thought enough of it would be just to go and visit the Taj Mahal and have a private tour. But no, they had this beautiful brooch made for her. Made with so many different colored diamonds on the original piece that we know that it was made from a series of older, beautiful pieces of jewelry that he had put together and had this done. The pictures I want to show you, which is really important to see,
yes.
because we have so many different ways that she wore the piece. And let me just turn it a little bit. Here she's wearing it on her, I'm going to flip through these very quickly so you can see it, wearing it on a coat. And these are the type of pieces with the winter coming that you want to wear your jewelry, and particularly brooches, on a coat, so that when you walk in beautifully dressed underneath, you should have something on the outside also. She also wore it and clipped it around her triple strand pearls, just clipped it on.
Sensational.
It became something more beautiful just around the pearls themselves. As we flip past into the next photograph, if I can pull back just a little bit, thank you. Here she's wearing it on a very busy outfit, and you can see how beautiful it is without getting in too close on it. Here she's wearing it in her hair.
That
it's a piece that went everywhere. Yeah. And it is something that is really beautiful. It is such a versatile piece, and it is absolutely magnificent on it. It is totally encrusted, the original, in diamonds, and these are all encrusted with Swarovski crystals. Total incrustation. There's not a square millimeter that does not have the incrustations on it. Total piece.
Those pictures are one of the things, when we see the different ways that Jacqueline Kennedy wore her jewelry, it's such an example of her incredible sense of style, her creativity, and the fact that she is always modern. I don't care when those pictures are taken, every time I see the way she wears her jewelry, it is always modern. Let me tell you the latest on this brooch. We started with 170 of these. Fewer than 4 dozen remaining, and that is it on this one. The dimension's a little over 2 inches in each direction. It's a circle motif with that flower design in it. It's J50967. There's only one item in this show. It's the Swirl design bracelet that we will see again later today if we have enough of them to go around. Every other item, like this pin that you're seeing here at 7 a.m., we will never be able to bring this back to you at QVC. And I just feel like we're saying goodbye to a piece of history when we do that.
We are, and it's really, it's terrible to see some of these pieces go. It really is. But it has to be. It's just part of the rotation of new pieces coming in and keeping the line a little bit more tight. And some of these, I'm sorry that they're going. As I look at them, just so sorry that it's happening.
You know, that has sold out. More to come, beautiful pins to come. In fact, one pin that we're not going to be able to present to you in its entirety, but we want to let you know it's available. This particular one that you see, J71827, oh, it actually is sold out. Thank you for your calls on that.
Very quickly on it, that was from the governor of, I'm sorry, it was from the president of Chile, and it had 105 perfect diamonds on it. 105. That's a beautiful piece. Congratulations on that.
That frog we didn't even present. It's sold out. Here's another example of an item we cannot present in full, but we want to let you know fewer than 3 dozen of this set. The brooch and clip-on earrings are available. $64.75 is the price on that.
It is rose gold in color, and that's important that you should know it. And it's big button earrings, and the button earrings are clip-ons. And the brooch came from Rose Kennedy, and it was European rose gold, which you're going to love the color of those pieces.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. It's so wonderful. You know, so many times we say things are inspired by. You know, we hear that expression, but to know these are true reproductions, and take a look at this next item that is sensational. Real quickly, gold tone lariat necklace. There are a couple ways you can wear it. This is just one of them. Clearance priced on this allows you to save more than $22, and we have it on 2 monthly payments of $25.92. As you tell us the stories, I'm going to show you on the very back here, it is an enhancer. In fact, let me go ahead and get real
It's
close.
a lariat bracelet. It's lariat necklace, and it was given to Jackie in 1971 to 72. We don't have the exact date, and it was from 4 men that were in her life when you include her son. Of the 3 adult men was JFK that she was married to for 10 years, Onassis for 4.5, 5 years, but the longest man that she spent with, the man who became her soulmate, was Maurice Tempelsman, and they were together 14 years and would still be together if she hadn't passed away. This was a gift from him. He was a stone dealer. He was not somebody that just suddenly showed up at the end of the life. He was part of the administration, of the Kennedy administration. He was an expert on the newly emerging African nations, and he was an undersecretary and a special advisor. Beautiful piece of jewelry that could be worn 2 ways. One of it, of course, now you're going into the 70s when really elegance was coming in a different fashion. Long jewelry.
Gorgeous.
Long jewelry is very much in now, and it's probably of anything that has ever come back in retro, it is this piece. It can be worn as the lariat, which has the enhancer in the back and then clips it on and allows you to wear it long. And of course, we can see Corinne in it, which is really see how beautiful it is. It also can be worn long, as one long piece. And depending upon your personal size, you could even wrap it around your neck one time.
Oh, okay, Corinne. It looks like that is the latest design in the hottest jewelry store on Madison Avenue. Let me give you the latest on this one. We started with 180 of these. Only 5 dozen remaining on this one. The stones on this are different hues of pink, going from a magenta to a very pale in tone. It's just beautiful. Can we see one of the pictures of her before we wrap
The
up?
pink on the original was pink tourmaline, and originally came from the Belgian Congo.
Oh, nice.
And that was, of course, was the name of, I don't even know what countries that's been broken into over the years, but it's been broken down. And it came out of a vein that had 3 different colors of pink tourmaline, and that's what he had put into it.
In the
we do
remaining
have one
seconds,
picture
yeah,
of
let's
Jackie.
take a look at
As
one
a matter
of
of
them.
fact, strangely enough, there's another piece coming up, or may come up if we have time on it, that Jackie's wearing at the same time that we may have as a backup on it. Here's Jackie wearing it around her neck, and you can see how tight she had the lariat pulled up. And of course, you can adjust that also. You can pull it up as tight as you want and just let it fall down. If we can move down to her wrist a little bit, we're going to be talking about this bracelet, hopefully a little bit later.
If we have time, yes.
If
Oh,
we
I
have
love
some
that
time.
coil bracelet.
Is
In
it?
fact, we'll try to show you that in just a second. There may be too few of those to warrant a full presentation, but that is a sensational coil bracelet. I love the fact she's wearing it in a park. She's relatively casual, and I'm inspired to do the same with her beautiful jewelry. That first item has sold out as well, and what's exciting about this is I'm just so glad there are those of you taking advantage of this last opportunity on this jewelry, never again to be seen on QVC. If you have noticed the necklace I'm wearing, this is it. Clearance priced for the very first time, one of the biggest savings in the show. It brings it down to a savings of more than $25. It's on 5 monthly payments as well. That was a gift from Jacqueline's mother-in-law, and we're going to learn more about that as we get to that particular product. This next item is the one pair of earrings in this entire show, but you get a choice here whether you want silver tone or gold tone. There's always a historical justification for that, and we'll hear from that from Phillip in just a second. But this is clip-on style, first time ever presented on 3 monthly payments of $16.75 a month. You can see the simulated sapphires of different tones set along the surface with a lot of beadwork as well. That's the gold tone that you see right there, and there's the silver tone. Tell us about the story on this.
This was March 12th, 1961. March 12th was the date that JFK and Jackie first met. They had met at a dinner party. JFK was fabulous about remembering dates. He remembered the date that they first met. He remembered the date that they first fell in love, which was May 10th. He remembered the date they first kissed. He remembered each of these dates and remembered them always with a gift of jewelry. Sometimes an extra little gift on top of it, too. He was terrific about that. And this was March 12th of 1961. And it was 9 years that from the time they had first met. He gave Jackie a beautiful set of jewelry, which was stripes, which had blue diamonds in it and also sapphires. They were done in gold, as the original was done, because everything was gold. But in the 1970s, early 70s, the silver look came in. Jackie took 14 of her most exquisite pieces of jewelry, her most important pieces of jewelry, and she had them platinum plated for that silver look. She never liked the silver look, she liked the platinum look. Because she had it both ways, we can offer to you both ways. They're very comfortable. They're very, they're for clip-ons, of course. They do come with an extra comforter that's inside. She loved the clip-on because the clip-on didn't pull any extra weight on her ears. And her earlobes, as years went on, became longer and longer.
Don't they all?
Yes. Yes, it's part of life.
It
It's
is.
part of what happens in here.
You know, as before we
show
go
a
to this
picture?
phone call, yeah, let's go ahead onto that picture, and I'd love it if we could jump to that picture as soon as possible in each case. We're going to take a look at Jacqueline Kennedy now wearing these earrings, and she looks beautiful in them. Bracelet that we recognize as well? Is that
The
what we're saying?
bracelet is on here also,
Yeah.
and which you may be able to ask and find out if it's still available. But these are the earrings, and of course she wore a suite whenever possible. The eye loves coordination, and here you see her with the earrings. Just a perfect little piece that's on.
Oh, I love
very,
that.
very perfect.
J71832 is the item number. Again, first time ever on those 3 monthly payments. We get to head out to Washington State and talk to Glenna. Good morning, Glenna. Glenna? Hey, Glenna, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Oh, good. Welcome. It's Laurie and Phillip.
That
We're
was
glad.
thrilled. I'm so excited.
Welcome on in. Are you having fun with the show?
Yeah, I'm watching you.
Good, good, good. I'm so glad you're talking with Phillip. Are you enjoying?
Hi, Glenna.
Yeah, have you picked up anything?
I'm here.
Good. Have you picked up any jewelry this evening?
I love everything you do. I mean, you're the best show. You're just so wonderful.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate that. I appreciate getting up so early for this, too.
Yeah. Glenna, what do you appreciate about this jewelry collection?
Oh, it's so wonderful because I've had 10 surgeries and I've just, you know, I can't do anything. I can't walk.
Oh, man.
But I can order.
Oh, man. Well,
You can look beautiful, is that correct?
Yes, you can. And, well, listen, we want you...
I have a lot of Jacqueline stuff, so, you know, this is so great. Thank you so much.
Our pleasure, our pleasure. We want you to feel better fast. In the meantime, thanks for keeping us company, Glenna.
Okay, thank you.
Take care, Glenna.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.
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 3 monthly payments, $16.75 a month. The excitement in her voice is so typical. So many of us have admired Jacqueline, I mean, for her sense of style and so many other things. But to be able to celebrate what we love about Jacqueline Kennedy and her legacy in this jewelry line is such a treat, Phillip.
It is, and it's a treat for us to bring it to you also, and it's part of history. It's our history. This is American history, and it was a time when things were different. It was the first time in history that people in the other part of the world wanted to come to Washington, to come to the White House, to be part of it, and suddenly we were something special.
The brooch that you see right there, oh, we've got to give you a second explanation on this. Too limited for a full presentation, though a few are available. Phillip, tell them about that brooch in brief.
Oh, this is such a beautiful, this actually, she's wearing it in my favorite picture of all the,
yes, I
the
love
thousands of pictures. There was a JFK and Jackie on their very first date that they had, their first formal date together. She wore this brooch. It was actually a gift from her sister, and it was in fashion jewelry. Actually, it was costume jewelry. It was even one lower than that. It was a gift from her sister when her sister when Jackie was only 16 years old. Sweet 16 was not a big deal to Jackie because she was going to become a debutante. It is 18 at her level of social.
Yeah.
And so for her 16th birthday, this was a gift from her sister. And Jackie, when she went out with the senator of the United States, she puts this piece on.
That is awesome.
And they went to a carnival on their very first date. And I'm sorry that if I don't have time to show you the picture.
Yeah, it's such a great story and such a great picture.
This is the beginning. If anything says the beginning of Camelot, by the way, this piece is where Camelot began. This is their first date together, and she wore it on their first date.
5 dozen of those available. Patrick, show me what you're holding. Oh, great bracelet coming up next. Just wanted to give a little preview on that one. Before we go there, here's some information on Dr. Deness. We will be right back.
When models, celebrities, and New York socialites seek groundbreaking advances in skincare, they turn to Dr. Adrienne Deness, one of the world's leading authorities on skincare. You too can help reduce the visible signs of aging when Dr. Deness returns to celebrate her 5th anniversary on QVC with select anniversary prices on her renowned skincare. Don't miss 4 total hours of the Dr. Deness Skincare 5th anniversary today on QVC. Start the new year in style with Buy Now, Wear Now designs during Fashion Day. 24 hours filled with winter's hottest fashions and accessories. New designs in every show. Must-have styles. Tips from the pros. Get affordable looks for every day. During Fashion Day, all day Friday on QVC.
An unconditional 30-day money-back guarantee on every product. No hassle, no questions, no problem. That's QVC's 30-day money-back guarantee.
We're coming on back to Jacqueline Kennedy Jewelry. I'm here with historian Phillip Katz. I cannot be more honored than I am at this very moment to be here with this jewelry collection. It's part history, it's part jewelry show, and more than anything, it's celebrating an icon in our American tradition when it comes to style and class, and that's Jacqueline Kennedy. We're going to jump on into the next item. As we do, I want to remind you, every item in this 2-hour show will be retired. Virtually every item will be retired after this very show at 7 a.m. The bracelet you see on Jacqueline Kennedy right there is the one that we're talking about, not just inspiring this next bracelet, but a beautiful reproduction. It even feels the same as the original. It's a bracelet in 2 sizes, either average or large size, depending on your wrist size. We've only seen this on the air one other time before. This is only the 2nd time we've ever brought it to you, and we've got it on 2 monthly payments, $34.75 a month. Come in close and take a look at this bracelet on my arm, and I want to show you how alternating scrolls, or what's the best way? Loops. In one loop, It's set in a silver tone metal, and the next loop it's set in the yellow gold tone metal. So you've got stones in each loop, believe it or not, but one is set in the yellow gold and one is set in the white gold, so it pops more with the white gold, but you have stones in every single loop of this hinged bangle that you see right there. Tell us about the story on this.
It was a gift from JFK on December 24th, 1958. How very close to where we are now. And why December 24th? Because they gave out presents, whether it was their birthday, their anniversary, the night before. They gave them each other presents because they didn't want to have all the other people who were giving presents and everybody else that was involved. They wanted time for themselves. So every occasion was celebrated quietly the night before.
What a great
December
idea.
24th,
Yeah.
and the children were sleeping. This 1958, only one child. Only Caroline was born at that time. John Jr. wasn't even a twinkle in anybody's eye at this point. And it was a gift from JFK. The piece itself was a beautiful piece made in 18-karat yellow gold with diamonds and platinum accents. Not silver accents, but platinum accents. And of course, we've done this in rhodium, which is a derivative of platinum, to give you that same exact look. And all of the holidays they celebrated together, they even celebrated one of the English holidays, which is called Boxing Day, which is the 26th. The day after Christmas, when you left a present in one of the boxes and threw it away so that the poor people would come and pick up the boxes and take it away and find a gift inside. And England still celebrates that. It's called Boxing Day. Has nothing to do with fighting, just boxing.
Fortunately.
So it was a beautiful gift, and of course JFK always gave gifts. This was Van Cleef and Arpels in New York. He shopped there because JFK was the only president of the United States who never took a salary. He never took one as a senator, he didn't take one as a congressman, and his father had charge accounts in Van Cleef & Arpels and Tiffany's, so Jackie got the best. He went in and he charged it to Daddy.
Let's go back to that photograph again. We started out with it, but I'd like to see it again. Tell us about that.
It is Jackie, this originally given in 1958, but of course we see Jackie's face. This is a little bit older. This would be after the administration, and she's still wearing it. She stacked it with a watch, which is very interesting, that she did stack her jewelry. Notice that it's on her left hand. All gifts from JFK went on her left hand. Gifts from other people, whether it was a king, an emperor, or if another family member, went on the right hand.
I didn't know that.
But only JFK's gifts went on the left hand. We never saw anything from him on the right hand, and it made us easy to know where it went to. Right. But here to stack it with a watch, which is very interesting. Jackie, I'm sorry, move that. Jackie, at this age, this is probably in the early 1970s. So many years later, she's still wearing it.
I went ahead and stacked it next to the watch that's coming up later in the show, so people can get a sense of that. Please continue what you were saying. It
is very beautiful because of the multi-tone, and it's one of the very few multi-tone pieces that she had. This is a piece that's being retired a little bit early. Not 100% sure why. It's just being retired a little early. Hasn't been on that much, and
yeah, just one other time.
It is just beautiful. Yes, it was only on one other time. So it's if you're really looking for something different and interesting, and totally beautiful piece, very delicate, very feminine. Here's your chance.
That pin that we showed you earlier has sold out. I'm so glad you got it while you can. This is our last opportunity to pick up on these real pieces of history, in my opinion. Fewer than 2 dozen remain in this set. The brooch and the clip-on earrings, $64.75 is the price. And also not a lot of that coil bracelet there, just about 2 dozen of these available. So we want to let you know that's available too. Do you want to say a word?
That was a gift from John F. Kennedy also, but it was a gift that she chose herself. It was on their 10th anniversary. He gave her 10 choices to choose from, and only one piece of jewelry. The other were vases and different things from an antique shop, and she went and picked this. She picked the jewelry. And so, but she wound up with 2 gifts because he didn't expect her to pick the jewelry. He gave her a ring also. That we're going to actually be talking about that later today.
I think so.
I think it's on tonight's show.
Is it on tonight? Okay, good, good, good.
Tonight's show, and we're going to be talking about that ring. But this is a gift from JFK. It was their 10th anniversary, their last anniversary, and it originally was an Egyptian piece, and it was probably 2,000 to 3,000 years old.
This is Dan Hughes. Join me for more great shopping next on QVC.
We sold out of that set. I'm so glad you all got it in time. J50672 is gone at this point. Oh, and that coil bracelet. Trust me, when you get that coil bracelet at home, let me show you that one real quickly because that has sold out as well. There you go. It's defies all expectations. That's a beauty. We are continuing now with our Jacqueline Kennedy show, and if you just tuned in, you know, I think it's really providential that you're watching right now because virtually all the items you're seeing in this show will be gone. We'll never be able to offer it again after the end of the show, and that's at 7 a.m. Eastern Time in just about an hour and a half from now. This is one of the few items in the show that Jacqueline bought for herself. If you saw Corinne earlier in the show, she was wearing it. It's a full 40 inches in length. It has the clasps, so you can wear it its full length, or you can twist it around and wear it layered if you choose. The stations there are crushed, real gemstones that have been crushed and reconstituted, if you will, in glass. It's beautiful, so you see the matrix throughout, but 40 inches with all these pretty colors. And this is another great example. Jacqueline bought it for herself. She knew, if I were to see this in my favorite department store or jewelry show right now, I believe they just made it. This is the essence of what necklaces are at right at this moment.
And this was 1972. You're talking about 35 years ago. It is called matrix stones in the center. It is actually semi-precious stones that have been crushed and then poured into molten glass. And you're actually looking through the glass into the stones. Made in Greece in 1972. And Jackie bought this on her own. So you know that it's one of the very, very special pieces. She wore it wrapped around her neck and called it her wrap necklace. And we're going to show you a photograph. And here you can see it wrapped around her neck and then coming down the sides. She wore it, interestingly enough, around the neck and then tucked it in underneath the blouse. So it made it very interesting that it wasn't hanging out. From different times, of course, she would wear it in different ways. She would wear it on a different kind. That was just a blouse. Here is an actual day dress that she's wearing it. Same thing. She wore it around her neck, wrapped around, and tucked it in underneath. You can see a little piece of it going underneath into the inside.
So it looks like a choker when you wear it that way. I mean,
it was, and then of course she would wear it when it got into the 1980s, when the long necklaces were coming in, she would wear it just long, one long piece. Had a matching bracelet at one time also made with the matching matrix stones on the inside. So it is really, really a beautiful piece with many different colors on it. And
let's give you the latest on this, by the way. We started with 300 of these necklaces, 6 dozen available at this point, and that is it. One of, I think, just about 2 items in the entire 2 hours of jewelry Jacqueline brought for herself. And I always love, I'm so impressed by this woman, and I always am curious about the one she purchased for herself because I think, oh, that was the, you know,
the epitome
of her sense of
elegance,
style.
right?
Yeah.
It really was. This was her style. This is what she wanted. Of course, you know, some of the magnificent gifts that we show you that comes from kings and emperors and pieces are... But when she picked something on her own, that was really what's very special. Beautiful piece, although made in Greece. We believe the chain itself to be Italian. You can see how long and beautiful it hangs. This is what people are wearing now. This is what is being worn. And you have the different colors, and you can wear, and depending upon the colors that you have and what you're wearing as to how you pull it around. It wraps once around the neck very comfortably for anybody. Anybody can actually get it more than once. Some people can get it twice around the neck.
Well, easily, because twice around is 20 inches, and that's that's a standard size necklace. So either way should be good. Oh, boy, by the way, it has sold out. Thank you for your calls. Oh, the necklace that I'm wearing is this one. This is a gift, or was a gift, the original, from Jacqueline's mother-in-law, Rose Kennedy. We'll hear all the details on that. One of the biggest savings in the show. We brought it all the way down to $56.30 for you, and we have it for the first time ever on those 5 monthly payments of around $11 a month. Now, very, very few of these bracelets, just about 6 dozen of those available, but we want to let you know they are in stock at this point if you like what you see. Do you want to give a sentence or two on that?
They are, it's one of the 2 antique gold pieces that she had. This is called a quattrofoil, If you see in the center of it, you see the circling going around. It was a favorite design of Jackie, and she loved that particular piece. It had beautiful little spots that are in the inside, and was made by a very, very famous designer, Coco Chanel. Oh, wow. And it was one of her Coco pieces, and it just has so many colors in it. Now, this was from a time when women wore what was called the royal colors, the solid, the rubies and emeralds, and suddenly here with pastels. Coco Chanel was always far ahead of her time.
Let me show you the two rings in this show. This one is coming up later, and this has a wonderful story. It's a gift from JFK Jr. This ring that we're seeing right here sold at auction for $85,000. This is a true reproduction, first time ever presented on 3 monthly payments. The sizes are 7, 8, 11, and 12. Those are the sizes we have on this. Let me add one other thing. Real aventurine here, simulated diamonds, and the ring is cast in sterling silver and layered with gold on top. And not just a little bit of layering there as well.
Heavy layer. It's actually 140 mils of gold, which makes it vermeil on top of it. It was Christmas 1971. And it was one of the most expensive rings that was given to Jacqueline Kennedy. It was an Onassis piece. These were matching earrings that went on. It was opaque emerald. An opaque emerald is an emerald that is crystal clear on the outside, and in the center is an opaque stone that's caught in the middle. The most difficult emerald to ever find, and we have replicated it in aventurine.
Sizes 7, 11, and 12 are the only remaining sizes. Oh, 7 sold out as well. Fewer than 2 dozen left in sizes 11 and 12. This would be a great index finger ring. In fact, that's the way I'm wearing it as we speak. I'm sorry to interrupt, Philip.
It is one of the rings that you would put on larger fingers if you really could get a chance at it. Here's Jackie wearing the ring. I could show you one other photograph that she would wear. So here's a regular day. It wasn't, to say, hey, she had to be going out very formally. And you see the ring over here. And notice the fingers. She's got it. It's a little bit larger, and it's just kind of rolling off to the side.
It has sold out. Thank you for your calls. One more ring in the show to look forward to, and it's that one from JFK Jr., and it has a great story behind it. I was really touched by that.
Story.
Something I'd never heard before. All right, lots more to come in this show. But like we said, virtually every item in the show, at the end of the 2 hours, it's gone for good. Now, this bracelet, the story behind it is so lovely. It's a gift from JFK. If this lasts through this show, we may be able to see it 2 more times today, but then after that, it is gone. One more time today, and then it's gone. It's J80388. It's fully adjustable. This is the coordinating necklace that was presented to Jacqueline, both pieces together. That one is on 4 monthly payments of $15.60. Isn't it fun? It's just such a joy to be able to enjoy gorgeous jewelry, right? And also celebrate this icon in American history. I hope you're having as great a time as I am. We're going to be right back. The next item is fabulous bracelet. Can't wait to show that to you in just a second. Right now, though, we want to give you a preview of something else on QVC.
As 2007 comes to a close, so does the 150th anniversary of Belique Irish Porcelain. It's your last chance to get the highly collectible and limited 150th anniversary backstamp on select designs. Don't miss out on Belique Irish Porcelain 150th anniversary last chance this Sunday at 7 a.m. Eastern on QVC.
When you see retail value for an item, that figure represents either an actual comparison shop price or the price QVC believes the same or a comparable product would be offered by department stores or other retailers using a customary markup for that product category. The retail value does not necessarily represent the prevailing retail price in every community or the price at which the item was previously sold by QVC. An MSR price refers to the manufacturer's suggested retail price. The QVC price is the price at which the item may be ordered from QVC at any time while the current inventory lasts, except for limited periods of time when the item may be offered at an introductory or special event price.
Welcome on back. I'm sorry. Philip's adjusting his pictures, and I'm adjusting more than that. Excuse me. Welcome on back to our Jacqueline Kennedy jewelry collection. Phillip Katz is the historian who brings us this lovely collection of true reproductions. These are pieces that aren't simply inspired by Jacqueline's jewelry. True reproductions, they're currently found in the Kennedy Library, in the National Archives, or in private hands. This next item represents a savings of nearly $20. It's first time ever at the low clearance price of $55.75 on this bracelet. I want to show it to you. First time ever as well, and 5 monthly payments, $11.15 a month is the price. It hasn't been on air since December 26th. And if you just tuned in, this piece, like virtually all the others in the show, when we say goodbye at 7 a.m., we will never be able to bring this to you again. Tell us the story behind this. Somehow a race car driver is involved, right?
He is. His name is Gilbert Graziani, and although not very well known in the United States, he was a European race car driver, Italian, and he was unbelievably handsome. And all of the women who never paid attention to race cars or race car drivers suddenly were interested. This is Jackie wearing it. I'm going to tell you a little about it. This is Jackie. That's her brother-in-law, Prince Roswell. Yes, he really was a prince. And if we can get in close over here, if you can, that is Gilbert Graziani. Blonde hair, handsome beyond belief. He came to her sister's villa in Italy, in Ravallo, Italy, where she rented a villa every summer. And when you came, you brought gifts, and not like we would bring a bottle of wine, or we were discussing this before the show.
I was thinking a candle. Don't invite me,
candle,
because I'll
a
be
bottle
bringing
of
a candle.
wine. They brought jewelry, and he brought not only for Princess Roswell, her sister, but he brought for Jackie too, the most famous woman in the world. This was August of 1962, and he was Italian, so he brought the best of Italy. He brought this magnificent bracelet and handed it to Jackie. Really beautiful. It is flowers going around the outside. Combination. Now, this is an Italian craftsman. He was from Milan, and he had it made in a boutique in Milan. And it was made for Jacqueline Kennedy. He told the owner of the boutique that this is for Jacqueline Kennedy, and they went out of their way to come up with their most beautiful piece.
I'm going to slide in here too. Fully adjustable, just like the original. It has an extender, so you can make it as small as 6 3/4 of an inch or as big as 7 3/4 of an inch. So like all the bracelets in this show, great gift idea. Let me just slide that in. If you're not exactly sure of a woman's wrist, you'll definitely have a size that will accommodate her, and all of the pieces come boxed in a way that's inspired by Jacqueline herself. Tell us about the boxes.
More than inspired, all of her boxes, because that's what it was in that period of time. Boxes, jewelry came in steel boxes. They're made of metal. And of course, we've replicated not only the jewelry perfectly, we've replicated the boxes that come in. So they're always perfectly packaged, and of course, they come with a certificate of authenticity. If you look very closely on this flower, which is really the most beautiful part of it, if we can get in closer on that, you will see that there is a combination of shine and sparkling, and then of course there is that beautiful pink stone in the center. The original was 18-karat gold. It had some precious stones in it, which were sapphires, we believe. We're not 100% sure. They look like sapphires to us. And the only way for certainly know is to pop them out and to test them, and nobody's letting us do that, obviously.
Obviously, it has sold out. Thank you for your calls. Quick update, the bracelet that we showed you earlier has sold out as well. Now, still available is this necklace. It's still to come as well. Introductory price $72.36. We'll tell you all about that beautiful necklace. 3 monthly payments of $24.12. Also, still available, but too few to warrant a full presentation, are these drop-dead gorgeous earrings. $52 is the price, and easy pay as well.
From JFK, and if you look at the second stone down, it's a heart. And that's why they're called I Love You earrings. And they were special for that. They were originally given to Jackie in gold, and it's one of those 14 sets that she had platinum plated in a later date. Because she had it both ways, we can give it to you both ways. They are for pierced ears. There was a beautiful faux pearl on the original. And of course, this is a Czechoslovakian faux pearl on the bottom also. But it's that heart diamond. That heart diamond that's hanging in there. That is magnificent.
Come on in and take a look at this. One of the things that I've learned about Jacqueline Kennedy through Phillip is that she collected crosses, and we didn't see them when she was in the White House, but she wore them and she collected them, and this is one of those reproductions. For the first time ever, we're bringing you this Ravallo cross at a clearance price that allows you to save more than $15. It's down to $34.08. We also are adding easy pay, those 3 monthly payments of $11.36 a month. See how beautiful that is? It's a combination of black resin, those simulated diamonds, and gold tone as well. I'm going to measure it for you. As I do, she actually bought this for Caroline, but Caroline never never wore it, right?
No, she was never given this piece. There was a couple of crosses that Jacqueline Kennedy had that were bought for her, and she decided to keep them herself, as far as we know, and kept them. She wore a couple. We have one photograph of Jackie with a small cross. This is not the cross that she has on here, but she did like the small crosses. During the administration, she did not wear crosses on the outside. She had one on almost every day. It was under her blouse. But Caroline had a cross on every day. And here's Caroline in the White House, and this was on the 3rd floor. And if you get in, you can see that Caroline had one on. When JFK asked that Caroline also not wear one in public, Jackie said to JFK, she's not an elected official and she will show her faith. And she did. Every day she had it on, and there was nothing that JFK could do about it. That's all that Jackie wanted, and Jackie insisted. It was, her faith was very important to her, and crosses were very important to her also. Beautiful crosses were very important to her, and this one was bought in Ravallo, Italy. It had the beautiful Italian with the crisscrossing going on. The original was 18-karat gold, enameled, as the replica is, with diamonds, and of course done in Swarovski crystals. Beautiful size, wonderful gift for a child, wonderful gift for an adult. Look at Jackie. She was so tall, and yet she could wear this little tiny cross, and it was perfect for her. It would be perfect for you also.
The necklace is a drop of 18 inches, but it has a 3-inch extender, so you can wear it anywhere from 18 inches to 21 or anywhere in between. You've got that versatility on it. J15793 is the item number. I love that story because, you know, as a person who only saw the public pictures of Jacqueline Kennedy, I never saw the crosses, and when you shared that she made it almost a daily ritual to wear a cross, I thought that was such a lovely story.
It was. Her faith was just very important to her, and of course, you know, in the 1960s, he was the first Roman Catholic president, and religion was a very sensitive situation, and it continued to be, because his assumption was, well, 1964 is coming, it'll be another election. For those people, it was a very close election in 1960. And he just wanted to, you know, not to shove it in anybody's face. But of course, things are different now. Things have changed since 9/11. Showing your faith is a very important thing, and it's very good, you know, to give for a child, to give a gift. It's beautifully boxed, and it's a magnificent gift to give, whether it's a child or not.
You know the history involved. We're going to go out to Colorado. Billy Ann is on the phones. Welcome, Billy. You're talking with Laurie and Phillip. How are you?
Good morning. I'm wonderful.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, good to have you here. Are you having fun with the show? It's a neat show.
Absolutely. I set my alarm to make sure I'd be up for this.
Thank you.
Good, good, good. What have you purchased? Did you get this cross or
Well, I
something?
just got the this little necklace, but I also ordered the flower bracelet and the clip-on 4 brand earrings that were in silver, silver tone.
Yeah.
And I've been collecting several of the pieces. I've got a drawer full of Jackie.
Why is that?
repos. I love them.
What do you love about Jacqueline's jewelry?
Well, the class of it, and the fact that it was hers. And I always get compliments. And when I do, then I get to tell the story.
Isn't that great?
So I thoroughly enjoy them. I've been ordering them for several years now. Whenever you've been on, I always add to my collection, and I'm kind of overdoing it tonight, but since they're clearance, how can I not?
Yeah, I tell you what, last opportunity. And Billy, there are 2 other shows today, but this is the one show that's 2 hours. So you picked a great time to watch.
That's what I thought. That's why I went to bed early and set my alarm.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you, Billy Ann. I appreciate you doing that, and I hope you continue to enjoy the stories and some of the beautiful pieces that are coming.
That's the neat part, too, is knowing the stories. I try to write a little bit of that down so I have the story to go with the pieces.
Oh, what a great idea. Thanks for calling, Billy Ann. Have a great night.
You're so welcome. I'm so excited to get to talk on the line about something that I enjoy so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing them to us.
Thank you, Billy Ann. Appreciate it. Bye-bye now.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, Billy Ann.
Good
Thanks
morning.
so much for the call. Yeah, that's right. Good morning. We keep saying good night, don't we? Let me tell you the latest on this. When we started with 600 of these, fewer than 150 remain. Now, with all those crosses that Jacqueline Kennedy collected, this is the only cross that we have in this show. And furthermore, like we were saying with Billy Ann, once we say goodbye to you at 7 a.m., we will no longer ever be able to present this cross to you again on QVC. So it's a really special opportunity. We just want to make sure you're forewarned on that, and also take advantage with your credit card of those 3 monthly payments of $11.36 a month. That is just the perfect size, like you say, not too big, not too small, great for a child, great for an adult. And to know that this was something that was special to Jacqueline.
It was special. It was special where it was from. It's Italian. It's Ravallo, Italy, which is the place, of course, where her sister had a home every summer. She rented a home, eventually bought one there. And what did Jackie do when she went? And she went there for a couple of weeks, usually with Caroline, and the two of them went together, and she went shopping. And that's what she did the best. From Ravallo, a quick trip to Milan, to Rome, it was just off she went. This was bought in Ravallo, as far as we know, and may have been made in Milan, but it was bought in a store in Ravallo, Italy.
Oh,
so
I'm
it
seeing
really
it on
is special.
Corinne. That is just so perfect and timeless. You know, sometimes crosses, I think, look too classic, in my opinion, or maybe too trendy. This is just that perfect sweet spot right in the middle. Here's the latest on this. Oh, there you go. It just sold out. Thank you for your calls. We want to remind you about the hinged bangles that are available in 2 sizes. We started with 200 of those. Fewer than 3 dozen remain. Most limited, though, in the average size. Now, we were supposed to have a full presentation of this necklace, but we have so few to go around, fewer than 150 to go around, that we're not sure if you'll get a full presentation. Yeah, Phillip, fill us in, because we might sell out on that before we even get there. No?
We'll get to it after and talk about it.
We're going to save it and talk to it with the bracelet all together. Trust us, it's worth sticking around for. Okay. We have 1 watch in this show, and that is it. But as of this moment, I can't promise you much longer than this moment. You have 2 choices, a silver tone or a gold tone, fully adjustable on this one. Oh no, let me take that back. It is a full 8 1/4 inches. It's a large size watch. Any jeweler or Phillip Katz can adjust it for you anytime you want. He adjusted mine for me, so it fits me perfectly. First time ever presented on 2 monthly payments. Now look at this. Those simulated diamond accents, or those crystals along the face there. There's the gold tone. The silver tone has gold-colored numbers and hands. So it kind of gives you a 2-tone effect. So I think anyone would love this. And like I said, $78, 2 monthly payments, under $40 a month. There's 2 colors, and there's always a reason if we have 2 colors, right?
There is, and this one's the opposite. Usually these things started out in gold, and then they were plated by Jackie in platinum for later. This one was the opposite. It started in white gold. The original watch was a Patek Philippe, one of the most expensive, elegant watches in the world. The only black face watch that Jacqueline Kennedy had, we have one great photo of her in the White House wearing it. It was given to her in March of 1961 by JFK. He bought this Patek Philippe at Van Cleef & Arpels in New York, and it was just a beautiful watch. This has been duplicated by Seiko. You're talking about a Seiko watch here. You understand? $78 is a Seiko watch. I mean, this is hello. Yeah. This is Jackie, which is an adorable photograph. I'm going to show you something else that's really cute. This is Jackie, and of course you see the black face on the watch. If we can pull back into this photo a little bit, and I know it's not the jewelry, but it's part of it. Here's John Jr. He's only 2 years old, and they're opening a present over here, but he's not looking at the present. He's looking at the wrapping on the floor.
He's a true 2-year-old.
Isn't that true?
That's what every 2-year-old does.
Right. It's the wrapping's important. The president that's being unwrapped, the present being unwrapped is not important.
Welcome to my house for Christmas a day or 2 ago. That was my daughter. She's 2, and it was hard to get her beyond the wrapping.
The wrapping is really what it went for. It was a watch that Jackie had worn. She had also worn it very, very formally. You saw her in a day dress, and here's the same watch, and she has it on, and we can see it sparkling off to the side. It was in white gold, as it originally was.
Well, you've got to finish this story. Let me tell you, very limited, very busy on the phones. We started with 250, 6 dozen available, but you got to finish the story because it's great.
It was originally in white gold. And on the day they left the White House, on December 6, 1963, when she had to leave the White House, somebody dropped a crate on the watch. We don't know how it happened. She had it sent to Patek Philippe, and while they were going to repair it, they said the band was totally damaged. They needed to replace the band, and they were going to fix the case and the mechanism. She said, gee, can you make it in yellow gold? Can you fix it? And so she had it both ways. So it started out in white gold, became yellow gold. She had it both ways. You can. It comes to you by Seiko. It is a Seiko watch. It is serial numbered. That's how fine a watch this is. Every watch has a serial number on the back engraved. And it comes about almost 8.5 inches long. And it takes literally seconds. I mean, that's just how fast you do it. Take it to a jeweler. Please don't do it yourself. This is a fine timepiece. This is not something that you want to change yourself. Take it to a jeweler. They'll charge you $1 or $2. They'll do it very quickly. They'll make it fit you. They'll balance it properly. You'll save the links because you never know when you're going to need it. It's a Seiko watch. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
This is really quite a piece. Comes in the beautiful
fine.
steel box. Nothing is cut short because of the fact that it's clearance.
By the way, it has sold out. A necklace still to come is this one. This is the last necklace in the show. Philip, do you remind me on this? See the shot there of that necklace? That was from her sister, wasn't it?
That was from her sister, Princess Lee Ravallo, yes.
Good. We'll get to that at the end of the show. Before we go there, though, this ring, too few for a full presentation, most likely. Just 5 dozen of those available. What's the story behind
An anniversary gift from JFK, and it was 5.44 carat of flawless diamond in a pear shape. He thought it was a heart shape, but it was a pear shape. And it was a Van Cleef & Arpels. So if you've ever wanted a 5.44 carat diamond, it is done of course, in a perfect CZ, so you get that same flawless look to it. These are also, this was an anniversary gift from JFK. It has the heart diamond on the second one down. If you look at it closely, you can see it. Nobody knew that Jackie was wearing, had the heart diamond because nobody got that close to her ears. It wasn't until it was, she had passed away that we got a good look at it. And we knew why it was called the I Love You set.
Fewer than 1 dozen of those earrings remain.
Fewer what?
Fewer than 1 dozen.
Oh,
I don't even know how we
that's a
count. By the way, on that ring that we showed you, says that we just talked about, the large stone ring, sizes 7, 9, 10, and 11, and that's it. We're going to jump into another beautiful necklace with a perfect extender on it. By the way, it goes from 15.5 inches to almost 2 inches longer than that if you choose. This we're presenting for the very first time on one of, by far, our most affordable easy pay plans that we have on QVC. Take 5 months to pay for it, under $20 a month. Now, this was made to match the national flower of Thailand, the orchid. And when you get in and see the rich colors of these simulated gems, these crystals that you see across the front, you can understand why.
It was from the King and Queen of Thailand. As a matter of fact, this was 1968. The same King and Queen of Thailand is still in charge. Of course, they've gotten older. But Jackie, when you mentioned on the very first item that we did in the show, when she went to Cambodia, on the way out of Cambodia, and by the way, those 6 airmen were released in her name, and she didn't want credit for it, so she had the airmen moved to Thailand for safekeeping at a U.S. base, and of course their families were brought over, and they stayed there for a couple of weeks until they got them a little healthier and eventually brought them back. But at the same time, she went to Thailand when they moved the airmen over, and the King and Queen had this beautiful set of jewelry made for her. Here she's wearing the bracelet, and of course we're dealing with the necklace now, which we believe is underneath in here, but we're not sure. There's a little something showing us in the photograph in here, but we're not 100% sure. That we think the necklace is underneath. Because she always wears her sets together, so if she had the bracelet on, she probably has the necklace also. Was made, as Laurie said, it was made for to replicate the national flower of Thailand, the orchid, and the colors are the colors of an orchid. How beautifully that was done. What an intelligence to put that together to get those colors.
On this particular necklace, we started with 170 of these. 4 dozen remain, that's it. And if you just tuned in, just so you know how important this show is, for the first time ever, we're retiring some of the pieces from our Jacqueline Kennedy jewelry collection. In fact, virtually every item in this show you'll never again see in about an hour from now on QVC, and that's why so many people are saying, I've always liked that necklace if they've seen it before. I want to get it before I lose out entirely.
More.
Yeah.
Is Corinne wearing this?
Oh,
I can't
let's see
her.
Corinne. Let's take a look at Corinne in
this side.
Good, good, good. The colors on this, different colors of pink and a yellow tone right there in the middle.
How beautifully it sits on the neck, and it's just, of course, this is the silver look. It was done, this is the kind of metals that they had in Thailand at the time. And of course, there's the colors. Look at those colors of the orchid. I mean, to have an orchid around your neck is really amazing. In the center with diamonds, it was Thailand silver, was the original set, which is a little bit different. It is actually, Jackie liked it. It was one of the few times that she would wear silver because this, of course, 1968 when the silver look was really in. And Thailand silver is a little more grayish. It almost is in the platinum kind of color.
Yeah.
Put those with the stones of the orchid and you have some real color around your neck. Absolute beautiful color.
Isn't that nice? J7205 is the item number. Fewer than 2 dozen of these remain. The length again extends from about 15.5 inches to about 17.5 inches. An extender that just blends in with the rest of the necklace perfectly, as you see right there. It has sold out. Thank you so much. All right, something else that has sold out are those earrings with that heart-shaped stone there dangling from them. Thank you so much for your calls. Now, still to come, and already really popular, is the necklace that I am wearing, a gift from her mother-in-law. But that's not really the beginning of the story. Phillip's going to take us back generations to tell you where that necklace started in the Kennedy family. Stay tuned for that. It's also on 5 monthly payments for the very first time, $11.26 a month. One of the biggest savings in the show, by the way.
What happened
Crazy
to
about this
the,
bracelet.
No, we had the...
Oh, yes, should I go get that one?
No,
the panther pin?
Panther, what happened to that?
Well,
It was in
let's go
sequence.
find
Got out of
that.
sequence?
Yeah, let me find the panther. Oh, this panther pin. Oh, yeah. We're going to be seeing this panther pin in just a second. In fact, this panther pin is the most affordable product in the entire show, and we're going to get to that in just a second. It also was a gift from JFK Jr., so the story is still to come. Please stay tuned for that. Before we go there, though, I want you to take a look at the bracelet I'm wearing, and the story behind this is terrific. First of all, how hot is this? I mean, this goes without saying. This is a woman of incredible taste, 7-inch bracelet, plus a 1-inch extender, and I've got the 1-inch extender here on it. It just blends in perfectly, so it goes from 7 inches to 8 inches, your choice. First time ever on those 4 monthly payments of under $20 a month, and like we said, this is another piece in this show. In less than an hour, we'll never be able to bring it to you on QVC again. Looks dressy, but she wore it religiously to Mets games, and there's a reason for that, right?
She did, and it was a gift from JFK on July 28th, 1963, her birthday. It was a birthday gift, and it was a necklace and a bracelet set. And of course, here's John Jr. They are at a New York Mets at Shea Stadium. JFK Jr. was a crazed Met fan, was actually a better way of putting it. And Jackie was a very good mother. She used to take him to Mets games. And he insisted that she wear this bracelet because every time she wore this bracelet, the Mets won. And of course, not always, but they would. And that was a lucky bracelet. Notice that it's stacked again. It's stacked with a watch. It's on her left hand. It's a gift from JFK. It was originally at Tiffany's in New York. This is a Tiffany bracelet. And it was purchased in April of 1963, which shows how much in advance JFK planned his gifts for Jackie. Didn't give it till the end of July, but in April of 1963, he already had it purchased and sitting in his desk waiting for her birthday to come along. It was a fun set for her. It's an everyday piece. It was one of those that she loved to bang around. It makes a little bit of noise because it has so many articulated sections within it.
Right.
Real turquoise in the center, and we have reconstituted it by grinding up turquoise to make a perfect little ball. On the sides, of course, were diamonds and sapphires, a mixture of diamonds and sapphires on the original, and are done with Swarovski crystals. So it is all beautifully done. Again, the original was in 18-karat gold. Comes with the extension because women did wear it with gloves, and Jackie liked some of her jewelry to be very loose, especially the pieces that she would wear on her every day, when she went to a Mets game, when she went shopping, and supermarket shopping she did also. I mean, people might make fun of that, but even though she didn't cook in her own house, she loved to go shopping for the food and pick out her own food.
Oh, fewer than 3 dozen of these remaining, by the way.
She used to spend a lot of time in the supermarket in New York, in the Gristedes market in particular, and she really enjoyed doing her own shopping.
Is terrific.
shopping, 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 shopping is what she really loved to do.
Well, when you're that accomplished at it, and with her great taste, she had my blessing every step of the way. This brace, oh boy, it's sold out. It's such a beautiful one. So glad you liked it.
Congratulations.
This is that pin that Phillip was talking about, most affordable purchase in the entire show, and never thought I could get a pin this beautiful for that price. And that hasn't even started to tell you about the story behind it. It's a good one. Probably one of the most touching stories for me personally, represented by any of the jewelry in the show, is the story behind this ring. It's the one that's been on my right hand all during this show. Can't wait for us to get there. It's just such a beautiful story of why there are 6 stones in that particular ring. All right, let's go ahead and jump into this next item. And this bracelet that we have, I own and love, by the way. It is the Swirling Circle bracelet, a gift from JFK. The story we'll get from Phillip in just a second here. First time ever presented in 5 monthly payments. Now, this is the only piece of jewelry in the show that if we have any remaining after this show, you'll see it again later today, and then it's gone for good. Everything else in the show ends with the strike of 7 a.m. Eastern Time. $66, 5 monthly payments of $13 and change. Do I have this on my right hand? I do. I can't wait to show you. An extender on this, like it came with, so it goes from 7 inches to 8 inches, your choice, and the extender includes that same swirl motif. But tell us why the symbolism of this was important.
We're going to be talking about the necklace also. So the whole story and the photographs are both the necklace and the bracelet. It was a gift from JFK in July 28th, 1958. JFK, who grew up in a house of 9 children, really was never totally surrounded by family as much as an intimate family as to what Jackie had created for him. He was very happy with that. He was happy he had a daughter, he had a wife, he had a home, and for the first time he had a place to be, and his life was very centered. He designed this at Van Cleef & Arpels in New York, and it was a really magnificent piece of jewelry that he wanted to give to Jackie as a set. Here's Jackie with one of the, again, the very few that we see with her wearing it over the gloves. And that's a reason for the extension, is because it is over the gloves that are on there. The main design itself was a Central European design, Hungarian, we believe, which is known as an armilla. And it was about 1500 BC is what the design came from. But he was the center of the design, this swirl as it began. And there's a large diamond in the center, which represented him. And this was his beautiful way of saying to Jackie, thank you for creating this life that I have, this child, this daughter that he now had. JFK Jr. was not born. This is 1958. And he had this wonderful, little, magnificent human being that was part of him for the first time. And he loved it. He loved everything that she had done. And this was the way that he said thank you. It was a suite, which were earrings, bracelet, and the necklace. And we will be offering you the necklace in a few minutes.
Very few of those left, by the way, just to warn you on the necklace in particular. Let me, as you're talking, oh, there's the necklace on Corinne. I'm so glad you're seeing it. That's the necklace. The pave set stones or bead set stones focus on the middle area of the necklace, and then we go back to all silver tone. We're just coming out of this the season of giving, and I think all of us have the idea of gift giving on our minds, and we all tried to give gifts to the people we love that meant something special. I'll tell you, nobody did it like JFK. When I hear these stories, he knew how to give gifts with meaning.
He did. Everything that he made, and of course, he had learned in the very beginning, his first piece he bought, which was an engagement ring that he bought, it was off the shelf. After that, he learned he didn't have to do that. He was a senator and then eventually president of the United States. He could go in and they made things for him, and he could express himself in it. And he found it easier to express himself, I'm sorry to say, in jewelry than he could verbally express himself, but he did. And this one came with a 3-page love letter. He was not a man who could write a letter or could say anything, but this is the only set of jewelry that actually came with a 3-page love letter that's on here. The bracelet itself was taken by Jackie and worn her literally around the world, and we're going to show you photographs as she went around the world. That's how important the piece was to her.
By the way, we started with 600 of these. We're down to fewer than 200, just to let people know we were hoping this would last to the next show that you're coming up later today, but we're not quite sure it will make it that far.
And I don't know what the pricing is later on anyway, but this is what it is. We'd love to show you some photographs, and if I could, we showed you one that's quick with Jackie, and she's wearing it over her gloves, and of course, you know, a little bit more formal. Actually, they were in a car and they were going to greet Haile Selassie. They were going to greet him, an emperor, and she put it on. She wore it to India. This is Indira Gandhi. She was the daughter of Nehru, who eventually became a prime minister herself of India. Jackie is wearing the bracelet on to India. It's a piece that she took with her around the world. She took it and wore it at different places in the White House. She has the bracelet on down here. She wore it, of course, with her other pieces. It is really magnificent. The original piece was in gold, and that's important. We want to tell you what the original was. It was not in the platinum look. This was the one of the pieces that Jackie had plated in platinum, and that's why we can offer it to you in the platinum look. And that is what it is. It is the platinum look. It is not silver. It has a slight grayish color to it because Jackie's was in platinum.
Fewer than 100 of these remain from the about 600 that we started out with. We're going to go out to Florida. We want to say good morning to Deborah. How are you, Deborah?
I'm fine. How are you this morning, Laura?
Hi, Deborah.
Good. This is a dream, this kind of show, to be able to purchase jewelry like this.
Yes, it is. I mean, it is absolutely wonderful. I got the swirling circles bracelet and also the cross. And I can't tell you how thrilled I am because I'm much an admirer of Jacqueline Kennedy, always was from the time I was a child. And she was such a graceful lady, and I'm just so thrilled that y'all are carrying this line.
Do you have any other pieces, Deborah?
I have purchased a couple of pieces, yes.
And how do you like the quality of them?
Oh, they're excellent. They wear well, and they're easy to care for. And
do you get to tell the story at all when people talk to you about it?
yes, I do, and I thoroughly enjoy that, and I enjoy listening to you tell the stories.
And I'm sure that the people enjoy listening to you when you come up and compliment you on it, because it's just magnificent jewelry, that one of a kind, as a matter of fact. I mean, everything that I don't think there's anything that we have shown you today that was ever made twice. And of course, when it came to Jacqueline Kennedy, the designers never, including the stores, Tiffany's or Van Cleef & Arpels, never made it a second time because they would never be able to sell it again. So it's a one-of-a-kind piece.
I don't think we've talked about that before. That's a great point, Phillip. Deborah,
It's remarkable.
thanks for getting up with us this early. We appreciate it. We have a lot more to come, including, I don't know if you saw the necklace I'm wearing, but we'll get the story behind that in just a little bit, too.
Thank you so much, and you have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Deborah. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Take care. J80388. By the way, 3 dozen. That's all that's left on this. Very busy on the phone lines. We'll get you, though, as soon as we can. You can try automated ordering throughout the show anytime you choose if you've ordered from us before. And you can also try QVC.com. I am on QVC.com more than I will ever admit because it's such a fast and easy way to make my purchases.
If you can look very close, we can get close in on Corinne, either on the necklace or on the bracelet. And you will notice that there's one stone in the center. In that stone in the center of it is the large stone. That's JFK. That's how he expressed himself. All of the circles going around, everything else is that comfortable world that Jacqueline Kennedy built for him.
For him.
For him. And that's how we looked at it. Not for the daughter, not for the family, for him. And he was really impressed with that. Here's somebody who came from 9 siblings, but yet when he went away to college and he went off to actually to boarding school the first time, he was just a young boy. When he came home for the very first time, he didn't have a room anymore. He had to say to his mother, "Which room do I stay in?" And, you know, and suddenly here he had his own house, his own life, his own daughter.
Wow.
He couldn't ask for more than that beautiful little
That
girl.
bracelet has sold out, by the way. An update on this ring that we showed you, fewer than 3 dozen of those available. Sizes 9, 10, and 11 are the remaining sizes.
Also JFK, that was an anniversary gift. It was 5.44 carats of flawless diamond. If you've ever wanted a Tiffany ring and you've ever wanted 5.44 carat ring, here it is.
Here's your
for an
chance.
unbelievable price.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about losing it.
It's true. And still to come, the bracelet that you see here. In fact, you might have gotten a glimpse of it on my wrist. I've been wearing it next to the watch in the show. That's on those 5 monthly payments of $12 a month. Now, the next item we're going to present is a pin that JFK Jr. got her. Oh, we're going to give that to you in just a second. Oh, but right now, this necklace that goes with that bracelet.
This is the same piece, and it's the exact same story, so we really don't have to repeat it. It was all part of the suite. And
on the verge of selling out. I just wanted to slide that in here.
okay.
So not a lot of those, but yeah, part of the suite.
But notice that there's only diamonds going down the center. Once you go off, there are 2 sets of diamonds, and then the swirls become high polish. And that was all part of the dichotomy of it. And all, you know, you're dealing with Van Cleef and Arpels. These are designers who knew what to do. Put the diamonds all the way around the edge, too much.
Yeah.
So they knew just how to balance it. So the 3 down the center are
glad you got
perfect.
those pieces. I'm so glad you did. All right, more to come, including that pin that we want to tell you about. Most affordable purchase in the entire show is the next item we're going to present. Right now, though, Dr. Deness is celebrating a big, Dr. Perricone is coming to QVC. Here's more information.
Revolutionary patented skincare created by a renowned dermatologist. Saturday, learn how to help reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles with NV Perricone MD Cosmeceutical Skincare. Something special starts our Saturday. Find out what at midnight Eastern on QVC.
I decided to do a line of Diamondique when I first was introduced to Diamondique some 15, 16 years ago. As far as I'm concerned, it's the most beautiful simulated diamond that can be found anywhere in the world. And ever since that time, I wanted to blend my designs with Diamondique.
Discover the beauty and colorful designs of Joseph Esposito for Diamondique this Sunday on QVC. Cool styles created especially for QVC and every modern woman. Versatile separates, at work flair, comfortable sophistication. The Nina Leonard Collection. Enjoy 2 shows Sunday at 6 a.m. and 3 p.m. Eastern, only on QVC.
It's beautiful. We're just admiring the jewelry, aren't we?
No, I was just saying I'm so sorry that it's going away. I mean, that's a piece that, you know, if it was up to me, it would never be retired.
Well,
it's actually my second favorite piece in the entire
collection?
line.
That's the necklace I'm wearing. Talking with Phillip Katz, he is the historian that brings us this collection of Jacqueline Kennedy jewelry pieces. In this 2-hour show, every item from here on out, when you see it here, you'll never see it again on QVC when we say goodbye at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. We're retiring all of these pieces. Sadly, sad but true. This next item, though, I want to show you, we're presenting for the very first time on a clearance price, which makes it the most affordable piece in the entire show. On top of that, for the first time, we've slid in Easy Pay, 4 monthly payments with your credit card, just $7.25 a month. The quality on this, don't let the price confuse you. The quality is remarkable with the pave set stones, enameling on the tongue, a red pave set crystal on the eye. And this is a gift from John Kennedy Jr. that he could not afford.
He couldn't afford it,
right?
and we'll tell you that in a little bit. But it was for a very special occasion. It was in all the years after JFK died, his 2 children continued to celebrate their wedding anniversary private. There was only the 3 of them that celebrated the anniversary. And on September 12th, 1973, it was the 50th anniversary of their wedding, of JFK and Jackie's wedding. And JFK Jr. had this pin made just as his father did at Van Cleef & Arpels. And it was really specially made for them. And they actually had 105 diamonds weighing 2.55 carats. Here's Jackie wearing it in the center. She's also wearing it at the same time because it is that silver look to it. If we can go down a little bit on her arm, she's wearing the wedding bracelet that's on. So she was decked out for her, what had to do with her wedding on that particular. John Jr. wanted to give something very, very special. Pets were wonderful. They all loved animals. There were 32 pets at one time in the White House, including 2 deer that were in there.
Let me slide this in. This is about to go, so if you like it, we don't have a lot of time. Continue.
It was also Jackie's birthstone, so he did the same thing his father did. He got together and he put what he thought was to make something for his mother. So it was an animal because his mother loved animals, and it was also rubies.
In the eye.
Rubies are all over the whole side.
All over, that's right.
He got that beautiful ruby look that was inside.
Let's slide this in ever so quickly. He couldn't afford it, so he borrowed
couldn't afford
the money.
it. He borrowed it from Uncle Teddy,
Senator
Ted Kennedy.
Okay, good, because I said that. I want to make sure we finished it. Thank you, Phillip. There's
Ted
so much
Kennedy
to say
paid for a lot of Jackie's jewelry.
I love that. What a great uncle.
Yeah.
All right, this is the necklace, my necklace, just 5 minutes away from this one. We'll never see it again at the end of this show. A gift from Jacqueline's mother-in-law. And then I think the most poignant story in this entire show is represented in this ring. Fewer than 24 of those remain. Should we have Phillip share the story now? You know, size 5 and 10 only. Should we wait on that? Do you mind? Let me just slide this in real quickly before we go to Phillip. Stay on that shot right there for just a second. There are 6 stones on that ring. There's 6 stones, and there's a special reason why there are full 6. Is that right, Phillip?
That's correct. There's actually sapphires and diamonds that you're looking at in there. It was a gift from John F. Kennedy Jr. for Christmas of 1979, and it was Jackie's 50th birthday. And he wanted to do something very special, and he had this ring made at Van Cleef & Arpels. By this time, of course, he knew how to remake rings and do what he wanted. There were 6 stones because there were 6 of them. That was how the family was thought of. There was JFK and Jackie with 2, and of course his father had passed away. But there were 4 children, and there was always 4 children, although we know of the 2 of them, of course, of JFK Jr. and Jackie. But there was a daughter who was first, and her name was Arabella. She died. She died as a stillborn, but she was never baptized, so therefore she was buried as baby Kennedy. There was also Patrick, the 4th child, who died 2 days after he was born. There are 6 stones, each representing, this was JFK Jr., each representing one of the 6 in the family, and it really made it special.
Fewer than 1, oh, it's sold out. That
Beautiful
meant
ring.
so much to me
Beautiful
because
ring.
anyone who has lost a child in any context knows they never lose the memory and the love, and that ring just represents it in such a beautiful way. This next one, yeah, I'm so glad that you shared the story and that we moved on because I think I would have teared up on that if we'd gone any longer. Yeah, do you want to share
I know you bought it already and you got it, but I think you deserve to see a picture of Jackie wearing that ring, if I may. And if we can just get in on it. And here's the ring, and she's wearing it next to her wedding band, which was JFK's wedding band. So she put it next to that. So we thought that you'd want to see that if you have it. Congratulations. You got a beautiful ring.
Sure did. This next necklace that we have is called the Vienna necklace. The price on this is $72.36, and for the first time ever, we're allowing you to take 3 months to pay for it if you choose when you use your credit card. The monthly payments are under $25 a month. You can see it in the box that it comes in, and if we get a chance, we'll tell you why it's in a blue box of this nature. It's all in respect for Jacqueline Kennedy and the way she stored her jewelry. The length on this, by the way, is 16 inches and 3/4, 16 3/4 of an inch. The extender allows you to make it 3 inches longer than that. Now, this was a present from JFK, right?
It was. It was October 1956. And every one of the presents, we tell you that it was this anniversary or that anniversary, or it was the day they first met or the day they fell in love. We don't know why there was a gift in October of 1956. We know where it came from. It came from Van Cleef & Arpels. It was bought by Senator Kennedy at the time, charged to his father, Joseph Kennedy. So we know that the piece itself, it had a bracelet. It was part of a suite. It contains a large amethyst stones with small amethyst stones set next to it, beautifully done, and it was set in platinum. It is magnificent. We do not know why it was given to Jackie. It was just one of those pieces. She wore it for very special occasions. She wore it formally, and we'll show you one photograph of her, when she was in Vienna. She wore it at 2 meetings that had met with the Khrushchevs, so it was a very important piece, and she was willing to show it off and wanted to show it. It gave color, and again, we're talking about the times when women wore darker colored jewels, such as rubies and emeralds and sapphires, and here was the amethyst, which was bright, and she loved pink. What's more feminine than pink? What says more, I am a woman, than pink? And here was this beautiful, beautiful necklace that she had. It
Corinne,
was.
You look fabulous. It looks so
It looks fabulous in almost anything.
Well, that's kind of an obvious statement, isn't it? Sorry about that, Corinne.
But it's just it's a beautiful piece. It's a delicate piece, and it is so feminine. It is probably one of the most feminine of all the pieces that she had. This is a photo that we're going to be showing you of Jackie wearing it with a long gown, full gloves, 3/4 of the way up to the sleeves, and she had it pulled very tight against her neck. All of her pieces had little extenders on it, and they'll be coming with it, little chains, so that she could adjust it depending upon the collar. There would be no sense having this on a long piece if it was hanging underneath, and it sits better against the skin. This is beautiful platinum, and platinum sits, and of course we've done it rhodium, so you get that platinum color, and you got that amethyst, that pink amethyst, the very light amethyst colors, with multiple smaller stones sitting next to it.
Indeed, you've got those, I mean, wonderful detail on this when you look at it, and you know, that's something we haven't talked about much because we haven't had a lot of time, quite frankly, but when you get these pieces at home, you're going to love the detail because they are not inspired by merely. These are true reproductions of the real ones, and you've even worked hard to make sure they feel the same way in many cases.
They weigh the same, too. We've gone through everything that makes it possible to say that you will know what Jacqueline Kennedy felt like when she put it on. Yeah. It's not only that it looks the same, that it feels the same, it weighs the same. It has the same texture, it has the same everything to it. So the feel is there, and you get that same glitter. And of course, these are Swarovski crystals that are duplicating the perfect, flawless stones that we used in each of these. This is Van Cleef & Arpels. This is not a little corner store or some small boutique that put it together. It's the top jewelers of the world that have, and you get to wear it. You get to actually put it on.
We're going to talk to Karen. Welcome, Karen. You're from Pennsylvania, I hear.
Yes, from Bristol, Pennsylvania.
Good to have you here. You're here with Laurie. I'm Laurie, and this is Phillip.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Phillip. I did buy this necklace, and I bought several other pieces, and I already have several other pieces. I just think this is amazing jewelry, and I was in 7th grade when the president died, so I'm old enough to be able to appreciate the history of it. And even if I don't purchase anything, I tune in just to hear the stories.
Good for you.
It's our history. This is what we grew up in, and these were times that we lived through. Wow. And it certainly is part of us. And of the pieces that you've had in the past, do you enjoy wearing them?
Oh, absolutely. And I enjoy telling people the story behind them, too. And they sort of look at me funny, but I tell them I'm not kidding. You know, you have to pay attention. I mean, like you said, it's our history. We should know it.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And to be part of that history is really amazing. And we're so thrilled that we can do this, that we can bring this history in. And you have no idea how thrilling it is for us while we research these pieces and find out, you know, it just starts out as a piece of jewelry and where did it come from, who gave it to her. And some pieces can take a year and a half to actually research down. But while we're doing it, I mean, it's just so thrilling because this is my life. This is where it came from. I grew up with this, the same as you did, Karen. I grew up with that same era. And it's all part of what we are. And we are Americans, and this is part of us.
I bet you're saying amen to all that, Karen.
No, when he said about the research taking sometimes up to a year, it's well worth the wait. It truly is. These are absolutely magnificent pieces.
Thanks so much.
I have the wedding bracelet, I have the engagement bracelet, I have the flag pin, and I can't remember right off the top of my head what else I have. I have a lot of them, but it's 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Well, you know how we feel then sometimes. Karen, thank you for calling and staying up with us all morning long. We appreciate it. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Karen. Bye-bye now.
J21951 is the item number on this. Introductory price, $72.36. Not a lot of those to go around, and like virtually every item in this show comes 7 a.m. in about 30 minutes. That item will never be available here on QVC again. We started with about 600 of those necklaces, fewer than 200 remain. One of the few items, it may even be one of the only, gosh, I don't know if memory's right on this. One of the only items that I can remember from Jacqueline's sister is that last item in the show. There may be one other as well. We'll tell you the story on that. Isn't that a gorgeous necklace? It's also in 4 monthly payments.
It is. It's a beautiful piece. It's one of the largest of the necklaces. And of course, you're looking at it on a background. Wait till you see it on a human being, what the difference is.
Comes to life. Okay, this next bracelet, it's such a great story, by the way. Sold out the last time it was presented. I mean, this is another example of a beautiful piece of jewelry, been popular, and yet we still have to retire it. So we want to let you know this is the last opportunity to get it here on QVC. This bracelet that you see right here, it's done in yellow gold, but take a look at the simulated diamonds and then these pink crystals throughout it as well. We'll get all the details, the kunzite simulated gemstones there. But this is a collision of two extremely important men in her life represented in this one bracelet. And explain that to us, Phillip.
It was a gift from JFK in July of 1963. Jackie was pregnant with her last child, Patrick, who as we know, died 2 days after he was born. And she couldn't go to Europe with him. It's when he went to Berlin and made his Ich ein Berliner speech that he had done. And on the way back, he stopped off in Ireland, which was, of course, his home country as far as his background goes. He was Irish and he loved being Irish. He loved everything about Ireland. And he actually got to go there. On the way back, he wanted to bring something very special. And of course, from each of the stops, he did bring something for Jackie on each of the countries, so to represent the places that he had been. And he had stopped and had a beautiful bracelet that he bought off the shelf. On the airplane on the way back, he's looking at it under different light than he saw in the store, and he'd realized the stones were kind of reddish in color, and he didn't like them. So very quickly, let me tell that story.
You've got to finish it. Yes.
He had asked, as soon as he got to Washington, he had asked his special assistant, who was the man, Maurice Tempelsman, who eventually became Jackie's companion, and he said, I have a stone that's very, very special. Something I just brought in from, it came in from Madagascar, I believe, and he said, I can put it in, and he said, go ahead, I'll do it. It was pink. It was kunzite, and as a matter of fact, that became the very last present that JFK gave. He gave a kunzite ring. He loved this bracelet so much, he said, I want you to get a ring made for me.
In the same exact stone. Isn't that incredible, the history? This is still available, the one pair of earrings in the entire show. You've got the silver tone or gold tone to choose from. 3 monthly payments with your credit card, too, and last time on the air.
Originally, they were in gold, and then Jackie had them plated in platinum. And those were blue diamonds and sapphires in there. Ceylon sapphire was her favorite color.
Was it?
That's the stone that she liked. It's a very bright sapphire. And JFK had Ceylon sapphires put in and some blue diamonds to go into it also. Clip-ons, very, very comfortable to wear.
Yeah, I've enjoyed them.
This is Pat James Dementry. Join me for more great shopping next on QVC.
The necklace I'm wearing, yay! I've been waiting for this. This is gonna be quick. We don't have a lot of these to go around. It's the necklace I'm wearing. Gift from her mother-in-law, Jacqueline's mother-in-law. First time ever presented at the savings of a low price of $56.30. It's one of the biggest savings in the show, more than $25, and we have it on 5 monthly payments. Come in close and look at this. It is 18 inches plus a 3-inch extender. That's the necklace, and then here is that pendant. Do you want to tell the story, Phillip?
It really, actually, I'm so sorry to see this piece go, and I've said that to you. I think it's one of the most beautiful pieces in the entire line, and I'm just so sorry we're being forced into a retirement on this. It was originally given to Jackie by Rose Kennedy on Jackie's birthday, July 28, 1961. But it was Rose Kennedy's wedding gift from her parents. And it was given to Jackie and to Rose Kennedy. And it was given on, and at the time was 1897. And it was a Paisley necklace, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful piece. We know that it originally was made by Mary Fitzgerald, and it sold out. It was made by Mary Fitzgerald, who was Rose's mother, and she had it made because she was in Europe and she saw a painting of some princess wearing this necklace, made a sketch of it, brought it back, and in Boston, this magnificent necklace was recreated for Mary Fitzgerald and then given to Rose Kennedy on her wedding day as a wedding gift, and eventually to Jackie, and now to you. So it has got quite a history to it.
So glad you got that. All right, we will be right back. The next item, a bracelet you've been seeing on my arm, in fact. We'll be right back with that.
Start the new year in style during Fashion Day. Tomorrow, 24 hours of winter's hottest fashions and accessories like du jour trend right now styles for the coming season at 1 a.m. Eastern. Then for easy care, easy wear style for work or weekend, don't miss 3 total hours of Susan Graver style from QVC's own fashion designer at 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern. If you love shoes, don't miss our first anniversary of shoe shopping with host Jane Tracy. Find the season's latest styles and select anniversary specials at 11 a.m. Eastern. Update your wardrobe during Fashion Day, tomorrow on QVC. Cynthia Garrett's distinctive jewelry designs, reflecting her passion for love, strength, and faith. Saturday, many of these designs make their final appearance. Don't miss your last chance to share in the beauty. Jewelry by Cynthia Garrett. Love conquers all. Join us Saturday at 1 a.m. Eastern here on QVC.
Jacqueline Kennedy Jewelry. This has been such a fun show, but kind of a bittersweet one for me because
me too.
These items that we're presenting we'll never again see on QVC. We're having to retire them to make room for other items and for other reasons as well. This bracelet that we see here, my ears always perk up when I get to hear this, and this is a bracelet that Jacqueline brought for herself. She got it for herself. This is something she fell in love with and purchased for herself. We're presenting it for the first time ever on those five monthly payments of $12 a month with your credit card. If you want to make it very small, it can be 6 3/4 of an inch, but there's an extender of a full inch in length, so you can get it up to 7 3/4 of an inch if you choose. We have a choice here of the golden tone or the silver tone, and whenever we say that, there's a historical reason for that, right?
Because Jackie had it both ways. She bought it originally in Italy. This was again during one of the trips to Ravallo. It was May of 1961. It was the first year that she was the First Lady. And it was a trip that was promised to her after taking a very, very quick trip into Canada and a little break in between before she went to Europe. And she was allowed to go off with her sister to Ravallo, Italy, where her sister was setting up for the summer. And of course, once she was in Ravallo, what did she and her sister did? Fluff, right off to Milan, right off to Rome, or went off and they went shopping.
Husband, isn't it?
That's where they went. That was the first thing. Caroline, as a little girl in 1961, was too small to go along at this point. But the two of them, the two sisters, went together, and they were shopaholics, and they really enjoyed it. And it's what she wanted to do, and JFK was fine with it. He really was. And money was not as important to him as it was keeping her happy. And she had just done some wonderful things. She was about to go off to Europe and become, actually, this is right before she became the most famous woman in the world. And she wore this while she was on that trip to Europe, where she went to France,
Paris, yeah.
and she went to Vienna and was in London. She had this bracelet on. She bought this in gold in its original format, and it was called a marquise cut. It was bought in a boutique in Milan, and she went and eventually in the 1970s, early 1970s, we think it was 71 or 72, she had it plated in platinum. So because she had it both ways, we can offer it to you both ways. It served its purpose as a gold piece and then eventually in platinum. A lot of the platinum pieces that were plated, the plating came off. They put on very little platinum in those days, and they really didn't have the electronics and the way to do it that we can do now. So the plating didn't wear off, so we can see the gold that was underneath on that original piece. Here she is, by the way. This is her other sister. We talk about her sister Lee all the time, Princess Lee, but she had another sister. Her name is Janet Jr. She's a half-sister. And this is her mother. This is Janet Auchincloss. That is her mother. And if she looks like a tough woman, she certainly was. But it was that tough woman is what created Jackie, what created her perfect style, what created her ability to speak all the languages, because her mother did also. Her mother also spoke multiple languages. Went to Europe and spoke on it.
We started the show with about 400 of these bracelets. Fewer than 6 dozen at this point were made, just to let you know the latest.
Here's the bracelet off to the side. I know that these pictures are not very good. You'll have to forgive us on that. We need to get down a little bit. There it is in here. It's very difficult on some of these photos. Sometimes they're old and sometimes they're just not taken with great cameras. But we do verify that she actually wore them by having these photographs that are on. It was a piece that she would wear as an everyday. This is the type of thing you use for shopping. You go to supermarket, you go off to visit friends, you have lunch. This is the kind of bracelet that you would wear. It is not a formal piece.
Well, that's what I loved about it, is I have it next to the watch that we showed you earlier in the show. This is something, really, it's so easy to make this an everyday bracelet.
Did you notice that most of the pieces that she had that she bought herself were everyday pieces?
Everyday
That's
pieces.
right. She got enough formal pieces from JFK. She got it from Kings. She got it from other people. And when it came to buying her own tastes were more towards the everyday pieces. Great in gold, great in silver. And this is one of those pieces that really looks fabulous in both conditions and looks totally different. If you ever wanted both, you put them on and they are totally different look.
Fewer than 3 dozen of these remain. You've got the 2 colors. I was thinking the same thing. You know, I was thinking, gosh, each one has its own unique personality. By the way, the silver tone is gone. That one has already sold out. Just a few left of the gold tone. And you've got the adjustability thanks to the extension there. I'll show you that again on the back. From 6 3/4 of an inch to 7 3/4 of an inch. That extension just blends right in, right there. You can keep it or remove it easily, just like you would take on and off a watch. Right there on the very back of that. J35833. It has, in fact, sold out at this point. Glad you enjoyed that one. Few more still to come, including a gift from Jacqueline's sister, so stay tuned for that. Fewer than a dozen remain of that drop-dead gorgeous ring that you see right there, size 11 only. And this one, a few of these remain as well. We started with 600 of those necklaces, fewer than 180 of those left.
That was a gift from JFK, and that was the amethyst piece, and again, the most beautiful. That's the only piece that we've never been able to pinpoint as the reason he gave it to her, because it was October. And it could have been that he gave it to her on another date and it showed up on the insurance records.
Right.
Or Van Cleef & Arpels records are wrong.
Yeah.
But October has no dates in it that we can pinpoint anything on it.
The next item is an incredible gift from Jacqueline's sister, and we're going to show you that necklace in just a little bit. Again, we have about 20 minutes left to be able to get our hands on the pieces in this show, and then at 7 a.m. when Pat and Tan join us for the morning show, we will have to retire these pieces. So this is your last opportunity. Hey, you guys, how you doing?
Morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
What
Still
day of the
tired
week
from the
is
holiday?
it? I am. I think I seriously have a wee injury, and I have no idea what day of the week it is, but it's good to see everyone. I hope you had a wonderful holiday.
Pat, the big family gift over in Pat's house for the holidays was this new video game called Wii, where you physically hold it and...
Yeah, you go.
I got $10 that says she throws it through the window by accident by Valentine's Day.
You know what I love about it? It's easy enough so even I can play it. I'm not good, but even I can play it. So.
I am coming over just to play.
Just to challenge
for one
me?
night. Yes, I think that will be the most entertaining night of
Let
my
me
life.
practice a little bit, though. Okay.
GPS systems were some of the hottest gift ideas during the holidays.
So if you got some holiday
and there's a whole
money.
bunch of folks who did not get the one that they wanted or...
And we were just
picked one up
talking
from
about
Santa.
getting lost and how frustrating it is.
Yes. This little piece of equipment is from Garmin, and Garmin is the manufacturer that is one of the #1 brand names in the world. I don't have it fired up yet. You'll see it. We're going to present it this morning.
I keep hearing about that brand.
This is an amazing value for Garmin technology. This is their Newbie 250W, is the way they differentiate this one from all the others.
Right. Their model number.
It's a full GPS system that is amazingly simple to operate. It's got over 6 million points of interest in it. It's got what they call a lithium-ion battery, so the battery life is so far advanced from what we had just a while back.
Oh, and it talks to you. Love that.
Sold out back in November. We rushed it back in so that we would have an opportunity to make it available for those folks who were looking for it. Here's the best part. We have it on 5 easy pay payments of $61.31. So the price for the Garmin unit is $306 and change. That's amazing.
Yeah, these really have come down.
Yeah.
And for that brand name, that's awesome. Of course, we'll talk about our today's special values. So for those of you who got digital cameras out there like me, you're going to want I think it copies, prints, fax, scans, and...
Makes toast, which is important for a printer.
But it's a 5-in-1 with the great name of Kodak, so we'll have that coming up as well at about 7:55. So the two of you have a wonderful day. Happy New Year.
You too, you guys. We'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. We are continuing with the Jacqueline Kennedy Jewelry Collection, and I'm Laurie Shore, and if you just tuned in, you have a lot of ground to cover. We'll try to help you out. I'm here with historian Phillip Katz, and the situation in this show is, in about 15 minutes, all the items you've seen in the show will never appear again on QVC ever, 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 ever. So this is the last hurrah for these pieces, and we have some beautiful ones. Come on in and take a look at this one, and this is one of our very last ones you will see in the show. This was a gift to Jacqueline from her sister Lee, and we've been hearing about her. We'll hear more about her in just a second. J15709 is the item number. For the first time ever, we're giving you this stunning necklace. Look at the navy blue enameling, the gold tone, those simulated diamonds. First time ever on those 4 monthly payments of $31.25 a month, about $1 a day is one way to look at it. The length on this is 16.5 inches. but it has a 3-inch extender, so you get a lot of wiggle room on hitting it perfectly on your neckline. Now that you've seen it here on the bust, as we call it, I want you to see it in the picture of Jacqueline, and I want to hear from you, hear from Phillip about the story behind this, because on her, you're going to see how modern this necklace is.
It really is. This was July 28, 1962, and it was a gift from her sister. And you all know her name as Lee Raswell, Princess Lee Raswell, but that wasn't her name. Her sister's name was Caroline. Caroline Lee. Lee was the family name. It was their last name. That was what Jacqueline's last name also was, Lee. And then eventually, the mother's last name was Lee, and then eventually the Bouvier came into it. But Jacqueline, when the sister was born, Jacqueline was only 3 years old. She couldn't pronounce Caroline. So she called her Lee, and a name stuck with her for the rest of her life. To make up for that, so that the poor girl who never had her own real name, Jackie named her own daughter Caroline to show that she did, and that's where Caroline's name came from. And here's Jackie with JFK, of course, and you can see that necklace around her neck and how beautifully it is. We're not sure what the color of this outfit, and of course Jackie is in black and white most of the time, so we're not sure if this is a blue or a black outfit, or it could even be dark red. We're never even really sure. It is a very different piece that she had. For all of the times that she had shines and sparkles, she had a combination for the very first time, and she loved this piece. It was part of an entire suite on July 28, 1962, that was given to her not only by her sister, but for the very first time, a card came in from all four, which was Princess Raswell, and the 2 children, Tina and Anthony. Tina and Anthony were very good friends with, very close to their cousins, to Caroline and John Jr. And as a matter of fact, Anthony was the best man at John Jr.'s wedding, and John Jr. was the best man at her wedding also. So they were very, very close to one another, and it was at Camp David, when they were celebrating the birthday, that this piece was given. It is quite different, and it is very typical of her sister's taste. Her sister had magnificent, as Jackie had, taste, very expensive taste. It was originally bought in Harrods in London, if you've heard of the name. It is the most expensive store, was then and still is. Harrods is the most expensive store. A bracelet, earrings, a brooch, and of course, the necklace. The other pieces have since disappeared. We don't know what happened to them. So all we've been able to replicate accurately is the necklace, and that's what we have. Real diamonds were going around, and of course, everything was done by hand, as this one is. All the enameling was baked on and done by hand. Wore it with JFK. This was in New York City. They came in. It was Pan American Day when they came, and JFK has in his hand something you never saw in his head, a hat. He carried around because the hat industry kept telling him they're losing business because the president, this handsome president, never wore a hat. So he carried it for a little while to help the industry a little bit.
Man. Let me show you this necklace before we go off to the phones. The enameling and those simulated diamonds go all the way around. The focal point is, of course, in the front, but all the way up the back, you have that same intricate enameling and those simulated diamonds. I want to show that to you. It culminates, of course, in the lobster claw class. See that? I mean, there's not one uninteresting millimeter on this piece. It's just gorgeous all the way around. There's the detail. There's the extender, so you can go from 16.5 inches all the way up to 19.5 inches, almost 20 inches. We're going out to California. Joanne joins us. Joanna, excuse me. Hi, Joanna.
Hi, how are you, Laurie?
Good. You're here with
Joanna.
Phillip.
Hello, Phillip. I'm so happy to speak to both of you. It's such a wonderful show, and I don't miss them at all whenever they come on.
Thank you.
Yeah. Did you get this necklace this time?
Yes, I did. It's just beautiful.
Isn't it?
It's just a shame that we don't have the, the bracelet and the earrings to go with it, but
it is a shame. Yeah, and it's very, very beautiful. It doesn't really come across on television. There's a number of pieces that are like that, and these comes across as if it's cabochons, and of course, it is in beautiful navy blue color. It may come across as black on a number of screens,
yes,
but it's really an exciting color. And of course, it looks like cabochon, so it has that beautiful, beautiful, one-of-a-kind look. Same thing. Harrods and knowing Lee Raswell, and Joanna, I just want to tell you, because you've gotten one of these pieces, knowing Lee Raswell, she would never have bought something that was made more than one piece. that somebody could ever show up at another party with the same necklace. So you can be sure that Harrods never made a second piece of this.
I remember also you were saying at one time that when Coco Chanel, the same thing, that she made one for Jackie and that would be it, you know. And
even in fashion jewelry, you have a great memory, Joanna. I remember that too.
Yes, that's correct.
I think I have just almost everything that you've shown on most all the shows, and I have to make an omelet into a new jewelry thing.
As hard as it is to believe, at that time in the 1960s and even into the 70s, all of the major royalty and all of the socialites could actually get into one large room. And of course now that can't be because there are so many wealthy people. But at that time they could, and they would show up at the same party. So none of the designers ever made a second piece of it. And you could be sure Harrods never made one. It's why you've never seen a piece that looks like this. Yeah. It's just something you'll put it on, and nobody will ever say, I've seen that. It is something that they'll just sit there and look back at it. And then to say that it came from Princess Raswell and went to Jacqueline Kennedy, and now that you're wearing it, it's a wonderful story to be able to tell.
It is. It's just beautiful. And also, I so enjoy the stories that you tell with these pieces. And I'm going to go online, and all the ones that are available, I'm going to take the stories off of and keep them so that I have them with all the pieces.
Good idea, Joanna. Thank you so much for your call.
You're so welcome, and it's such a pleasure speaking with both of you. And have a happy New Year, and thank you so much.
Happy holidays, Joanna.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care. J15709 is the item number on this. $125 is the price, first time ever on those 4 monthly payments. So it's, you know, about $1 a day is probably a good way to look at how that easy pay breaks down. Just a little more information on the one pair of earrings that we had in the show, and this is it. Last call, clip on. We started with 300 of these, fewer than 3 dozen available at this point. Also still available, this bracelet. We started with 200 of these. Fewer than 3 dozen available on that one as well. It's that hinged bangle, 2 sizes, average and large. We're most limited in the average size. Coming up next hour, we want to give you a preview of what's coming up in the morning show with Dan and Pat. We have our today's special value. It's our first ever all-in-one printer, scanner, copier, fax machine. Today's special value from Kodak. It allows you to save up to 50% on everything, every time you print. We'll explain that, why that is, coming up in that show. Also, gosh, this is a great collection of greeting cards. Accordion style, all occasion greeting cards. Let me see, how many do you get? 50 cards, looks like, for about 50 cents a piece. So stay tuned, that's coming up in the morning show next hour. And also coming up next hour in that morning show, we have a GPS navigation system. We rushed this order back in. It sold out in November. If you missed out on one of these for the holiday season, now's your chance to get one. It's also on Easy Pay, about $61 a month. Just a reminder, that's coming up in the morning show. The morning show goes from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern time, just in about 7 minutes. Speaking of reminders, we have about 7 minutes left. We've sold out of most of the items in the show, but anything that we still have quantity in, we have about 7 minutes left on them. Once they sell out, we'll never be able to bring them back to QVC. Again, this necklace, by the way, we started with 600 of these, fewer than 100 remaining. It's one of the few remaining pieces that we have to tell you about. For the first time ever, we have it on Easy Pay. You see those simulated amethysts and accent stones, and it's just gorgeous.
I don't want to use the word simulated because those are Swarovski crystals, which are actually matched into the original colors.
Thank you for the clarification.
Swarovski has been wonderful with us, and of course in duplicating Jacqueline Kennedy's pieces, they've actually created certain colors that only match her originals, and we'll never use it for anything else.
Incredible.
And this is one of those pieces. It was a gift from John F. Kennedy, and again, it was October 1956. And we really don't know the reason for it. And of course, because it's 1956, which is very early in the marriage, some of the records aren't really that 100% accurate. So it may have been for other reasons, but we're going to leave it in October. And you see how Jackie pulled it up around her neck. The colors for 1956, and of course this photograph was taken in the 60s during the administration. At that time, women didn't wear such bright colors in there. They wore, you know, it could have been rubies, it would have been emeralds, and it would have been something in the darker colors.
Color, yeah.
And here suddenly was this feminine, delicate piece that went around her neck. And she was really, really pleased. And of course, there was very few women in the world who were more feminine than she was, more delicate, more elegant, and just something about the epitome of femininity. And this was one of those pieces.
Yeah, and that purple pink color. I love the fact that she was drawn to this color because I love it in this day and age, and I know so many women do. It's an orchid. It's sold out. It's that beautiful orchid color. Enjoy that. Couple updates for you on some of the items that we still have remaining in the show. Very few, in fact. We sold out of our one pair of earrings. That is gone in both those colors. And let's see, what else do we want to tell you folks about? Oh, come
I need
here.
to show you just quickly on this ring,
Well,
even though it's sold out.
Even though it's sold out,
let me show you what it was that she's wearing so you can see the photograph of it. Because we didn't really get a chance to talk about that diamond ring that you're looking at. It was May 10th, 1957. That was a gift from JFK. And remember, May 10th was the day they fell in love with each other. So this was one of those super I love you pieces from JFK. And we want to show you this beautiful, we can show you one photograph of Jackie wearing that. It was 5.44 carats in size. If you can zoom in very quickly, and then we're going to tell you about one more piece that we have that we think is beautiful, that's still left, that'll never be back on again. And this is the ring. She's wearing it next to her wedding ring. And of course, it was the day they fell in love with each other. And JFK never forgot those days. It was always a beautiful gift. And it was also when he had realized he had never given her a diamond ring. He had given her emerald rings and actually gave her once some ruby, but he had never given her a diamond ring. And this was to make up for it. And what better day? The day you fell in love.
Oh, isn't that
so
lovely?
Congratulations. It's a beautiful ring that you've got.
Phillip, it is such a joy. Thank you so
thank you
much.
so much.
The
It was
time just
wonderful.
whizzes by when I get to hear all those great
does.
stories. Thank you so much. You'll be back
at 11 a.m. Eastern Time and then 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
for 2 more hours.
2 more hours, 1 hour each.
Yep.
And we've got some brand new pieces in it. And of course, these are pieces that are never coming back. So you really got some great pieces.
More information on this incredible jewelry collection on QVC.com. Other pieces as well available there. All right, we are going to say goodbye for now, and you get to say hello to Pat and Dan. They're up for the morning show. Have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.